You T-posed for us. Ciao. Do you recommend 13.2 and the rest of the 13 series? I recommend 13.2. I recommend burning 13.3 if you find it in the wild. Yeah, I need to do some research into all the Chrono Trigger versions to decide A, which one I want to play, and B, or which one I want to record and play, and B, if there's any content from any of the other ones that I need to include. So I'll probably do that soon. I mean, I got some time. We got 3 weeks before we start, but... Yes. It's bad, it never gets better. I would say that the end of the game is decent because, like, there's a final dungeon that's kind of neat. But in order for the final dungeon to not be awful, you have to buy the cloud microtransaction. So, no, it sucks. It's bad and it should feel bad. Thanks, heroes. You could even throw it in the Chrono Trigger research section that I just started. If you want to be organized about it. Good, I'm glad. I want people to be, you know, as involved as they want to be. Yo, that's what it's there for, so feel free. I used several of the things in the cloud section, in the cloud video, so. Cool. You scared me for a second. I was like, oh crap, did I set it up wrong? I dig out the 13 trilogy has 3 distinct fan bases.
You looking at me?
I was gonna say something, but I didn't. I'm just kidding. Now, the more I've played 13, the more I feel like I understand why people really liked it. I also feel like its flaws are hitting me more this time than it did when I originally played it. But at the same time, I also see the little details that people enjoy and why people are fascinated by this game and continue to appreciate it. But I also think that its flaws are becoming even more obvious to me. I wouldn't say that it didn't age well, though. Like, there's nothing about this game that I feel like... It's not because I've played other games that the problems are more obvious. I think that just when I played it, I was younger, and also I was kind of blind to a lot of the stuff because it was so different and unique that I was just kind of enjoying it for what it was. And yeah, it still needs to be said, this is like one of the most beautiful PS3 games in existence. It really does wow you with its graphics, its visuals.
Are we there already?
I'm still genuinely impressed that this was on PS3. Especially some of the close-ups of the characters just blows me away. Looks like frickin' Final Fantasy 15. I think part of it is not that the game itself has, you know, aged poorly. I think it's me that's aged poorly. As I've gotten older, I've gotten less, like, I'm not as willing to put up with an extremely boring, slow, early game. And, like, frustrating characters, whereas when I was younger, I didn't care as much. I will say, though, there was a lot of people that commented when a couple episodes ago I said, like, all of the terminology in this game confuses me, but I feel like it's a me problem. And a bunch of people commented and were like, it's not you. Which made me feel better, because, yeah, there's something about the terminology in this game that just very easily loses people. And I still don't know exactly what it is. Because there's plenty of games that are really complicated that do it just fine. Like, I couldn't call myself a Kingdom Hearts fan if I didn't like complicated storylines. But something about this game and its terminology just, it loses you immediately, and you feel like you just get lost in the sauce really early on. It's both like the terminology itself and the way that it tells, the way that it gives its plot to you over time. It's just, it's not done well. It's not paced well. And it's just way too easy to forget things. And for characters to just throw words at you and you're like, wait, what is that again? And what does that mean? And it's convoluted. A lot of the characters don't do what they should do. A lot of the characters either are backstabbing or changing their minds on things, and it's not super apparent. I don't know, it's just rough. I honestly don't even think the thing from Final Fantasy XIII
Looking at me?
that tells you stuff as you're playing, I don't think that would have even helped. I think you'd still be confused. Because I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is the way that it kind of tells the story and the characters and stuff. I feel like it's been so long since anything's happened that I can't even remember, like, most of the events of the game. It's been like a month since we saw a cutscene that mattered. We've seen, like, flashbacks and stuff, but, you know, it was like the stuff with Sarah and Hope and Vanille's thing, but the last time something meaningful happened to a character was like 3 weeks ago when we fought Sid. That was actually more than 3 weeks ago, I think.
Appreciate it. This'll be fun. Don't give up. Nice. You asked for it.
Chest over there. This definitely feels like one of those games that, like... I think the best way to describe this game is... the game is worth the investment. If you invest the time to understand everything, you'll get a lot out of it. But many people were not willing to invest in it. And the biggest problem with that is that the beginning is too slow. So many people gave up before they could get invested enough to really get it. But those who did, those who took the time to understand all the terminology and understand the characters and play through the game multiple times, now it's one of their favorite games, you know? So, like, you get what you put into it. But unfortunately, a lot of people checked out. And I think that's the game's fault, because the beginning is too slow. And the characters aren't likable enough at face value. You have to kind of really delve in to understand why they're likable. Or why they're... Because a lot of the characters come across as, like, frustrating, but real. And it's hard to appreciate a character like that unless you know all the context, you know? On face value, Snow is just annoying. Like, on face value, Hope is annoying, Snow is frustrating, Lightning is, like, very flat. But then, as you invest more time into the game, you realize, like, oh, there's reasons for it, and there's more going on, and etc., etc. So, but they didn't do a good enough job of making the characters likable at face value to give people the reason to continue investing their time into it. And the game itself isn't exciting enough to invest a ton of time into it for a lot of people because the beginning is just hallways forever.
Could be Nasty's waiting anyway.
But that's not everyone, of course. Some people just straight up dislike the game at every step of the way, like, even if they do invest the time. And some people like it immediately, but... I think in general, most people fall into one of those two categories. Either they gave up on it before they could get invested, or they got invested and end up really liking it.
Yeah, looks plenty feisty to me.
He's bluffing to scare us off. Let's just go with that, all right?
Yeah, sounds
Come
good.
On. We can do this.
So any reason why he spent all this time doing that and then now he's fighting us? Also, he is giant. This whole setup to this boss was terrible, by the way. Like, every 2 seconds we saw him fly by and they're like, wow, a Fal'Cie, and then, like, all the dialogue was so ham-fisted, like, oh, now he's weak because his tail is cut, and oh, the statues are helping us, question mark? Like, we could have just had the statues help us and cut his tail, and we could have come up to that with, you know, come up with that ourselves. Really didn't need all the ham-fisted dialogue. It's not like the tail being cut helps us in this fight at all. Like, we can't cut his tail further or anything. So it's not like we need to know that information.
Thank you.
You've never heard that phrase before? It means, like, overly obvious. Like, yeah. Is it going Blockbuster? Alright, ow. It means they're hungry. If they're ham-fisted, it means they have a fist of ham and they're very hungry. No, we didn't fight a boss this one. We did some hunts that were forced.
Let's make this easy. Don't sweat.
So wait. Oh god, he hasted himself.
You'd ask for it. Eat this.
Doing like 7,000 damage. So even with my crazy attack stat, Ruin is better. So me building that super strength weapon was not worth it in the end. For this boss. But can I hit him with a Scourge? Boom! Double Scourge, 100,000 damage. Somebody heal me, please.
Don't back down.
Thanks.
That's what I want. Shell. Give a shell, please. Ew. That's awful. It's not.
Thank you. Pathetic.
I feel like giving my characters bigger ATB bars kind of sucks because they take so long to do their moves sometimes.
New strategy.
Ouch.
Come on then.
Neil, just use Cura. Thank you. Neil just can't heal us fast enough.
Keep a cool head.
Not again. Oh, it's something else. What was that? Alright, just kill him. Just kill him.
Come on then.
Bone Chilling Breaker. He has some really cool sounding moves. Ow! Alright, we win. What? I had to say that. What happened? I had like full health. Also, I thought he used fire moves. Why did I get hit by ice? Alright. Alright, we win. Loses immediately. I'm genuinely confused.
Keep your mind on the battle.
I had that one. I was just trying to play it safe.
Time for another approach.
But somehow I got like blown up by something. Somebody had commented and said like the fact that if lightning or whoever your leader is dies, you lose is like the most frustrating thing about the game. And although I don't know if that's the absolute most frustrating part, I do agree, it's pretty terrible. Like, in concept, it's not the worst thing ever, but it tends to really be annoying when an enemy just gets lucky and hits your one character multiple times in a row. Maybe what would have been better is if there was some kind of like way, like let's say Lightning dies, but Fang and Vanille are both alive. One of them can like sacrifice their life to bring Lightning back or something. Just so you don't auto lose when your one character dies. Because it just feels cheap. Yeah, it is fun to switch paradigms. It can be a bit annoying because it's like when you're really switching constantly, it slows down the battle quite a bit, but imagine if Vanille was a commando and she was just throwing out ruins instead of spells. How much damage she'd do. Man, I wish we had haste. Wait, did he get up even though it's not time for him to get up yet? Smite! That was odd.
Keep the enemy off balance.
Holy moly. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe I got imperiled. Because, man, that hurts. Yeah, good to see the Arcus. gonna say, as long as that doesn't hit
Keep the enemy off
the Neil, we'll
balance.
be alright. Hit the Neil. Why is she only giving us shell and that's it? I mean, that's what I want, but... I gotta get rid of that haste. Even though it gets rid of the Imperil too, I cannot let him have haste.
Come on then. Here we go.
Time for another approach.
Don't back down.
I feel like once I get Fang, all of her synergist abilities, and then I get her actually to be like a super tank, like I'm planning on, it might actually be better to use her as my leader. Because I could actually cast the spells I want her to cast. I could dispel when I want to dispel. I could cast Protect or Shell when I want to. I could cast Faith on who I want Faith to be on instead of everyone. And then because she's the super tank, that would mean that I would have less chance of losing because only she died. But Lightning's more fun to be the leader, so I don't know. The only reason I picked Lightning for leader is just because I wanted to use her. It wasn't a strategical move. But yeah, maybe when I'm doing the really difficult fights, once Fang is caught up, might be better to lead as Fang. Also in Cliptic, good to see ya. Also in Blockbuster. Hurry up. Oh. Oh, I was hoping I could kill him there, but no such luck. I need you guys to dispel him, please. Oh, that'll work too. Can he be slowed? Oh, he can. That's the real ticket. Maybe it'll work. Alright. That is working flawlessly. There we go.
Just getting started.
Yeah, it was fun at the beginning to play as Vanille and just heal everyone and buff everyone and cast spells. Oh, I gotta go into full defense mode because Lightning's hurt. I'm not losing like that again. That's the other thing too, like, I would have liked to keep pushing the pressure there, but because Lightning got hit, I had to stop everything because I have to make sure she doesn't die. I think that's more the annoying part. It's not even like the game overs, it's the fact that every time Lightning gets hurt, I have to go into defense mode or else I might lose. Whereas like when the other characters get hurt, I can be like, okay, I'm gonna push this to try to get the stagger or whatever, you know? Also, I canceled his plague, that was nice. So I think that's kind of the bigger issue.
Look.
Nice.
What were they even looking at?
Back.
He's saying thanks.
At last, we are free.
We go now to hunt down evil where it hides.
Wait, now you can understand what he's saying?
So I guess that means there are still more monsters like that one out there.
Sounds like it. Somewhere out there on Grand Pulse.
Gone just like that. For a big hunk of rock, that thing sure can move.
Guess they're just doing what they can too. Trying to save the world.
Yeah, well, it's not all on them. Last time I checked, we are still in this fight.
What was that dialogue?
Ereba's right down there then, isn't it?
Yep.
So what's it like?
Well, it's kind of small, but it's warm and green and very naturey.
Around the Foul Sea, it was flowers as far as you could see, huh?
View from here? Ain't so rosy, I'm sorry to say.
You want to wait here?
No. I need to see for myself. It's all gone.
Every trace of color. We're chasing shadows. This whole idea of losing our brands is hopeless.
There's gotta be a way.
Let's keep on looking. That's what we came here for. We all agreed, and now we're here.
You think it's really possible?
Sure. Anything is.
There's no going back.
You don't think I know that?
Come on.
I gotta say, I don't understand half the freaking dialogue. It's kind I was hoping it would get better, it's just getting worse. Like, didn't she say before there was no turning back? And now she's saying it again, there's no turning back. What does that mean, Lightning? We're on Grand Pulse. This is our last chance to potentially get rid of our brands, or else we're gonna turn into zombies. What do you mean there's no turning back? Of course there's no turning back. Like, what is the other option here? Just stay on Grand Pulse? Like, I feel like that's just dialogue for the sense of sounding epic. There's no turning back. Okay. Like, we all agreed this is our only option. We agreed that there's nothing on Grand Pulse for us, and Oereba's the only potential chance we have. So what do you mean there's no turning back? And then the rest of the dialogue is so, like... It reminds me of a more modern game that doesn't know how to write dialogue. And it's a shame because I wanted to give this game the chance of not being the game that started the modern Final Fantasy trend, but it really is. It really is the first game to be like, you know what? Gamers are stupid. Let's just tell them everything. Let's not let them look at the fact that the ground is turned to gray. Let's have Fang literally say there's no color. Look, it's gray. Just in case you couldn't see that. But honestly, like, that scene would have been fine if the rest of this entire dungeon wasn't like the most annoying ham-fisted dialogue ever, just telling us exactly what we're seeing. I would have been okay if there was just no dialogue this entire dungeon and then it was just that scene. That would have been fine. How's it going, Marsh? Bad MS Paint art style comes naturally to me. Same. Like imagine if we walked up to the edge and instead of them like just regurgitating exactly the feelings and emotions they want us to feel, they just had Fang and Vanille like shed a tear and then like hold each other's hands, and that was the whole scene. It would have been infinitely better than what that scene was. You know what I mean? Like, what happened to show don't tell? And that's how I feel about a lot of games nowadays, is like everything has to be tell and not show. And this, I think that's a big gripe that a lot of people have with this game, is that this was the first Final Fantasy to start the modern trend of like, we have to tell the player everything. You could say that a bit about 12 too, because there's a lot of exposition dumps in 12, but with 12 you kind of needed it with all of its political stuff. You kind of had to explain what was going on. I just personally don't like that stuff, but I kind of understand why it's there, you know? I think it could have been told a bit better, like done a bit better. For example, the start of the game where they just have like the guy, 5 years ago, the one nation fought the other. Like instead of that, it could have been like a cutscene or like a, you could like visually show us what happened, and that would have maybe been more exciting than just the guy talking. But like I said, I understand why there's so much exposition dump in 12, because it's kind of needed. But here it's like you don't need it. You have these beautiful visuals. We're physically at the locations. Just show us it. Show us the emotion. Show us what we need to know instead of just having the characters tell us. Like I said, would have been infinitely better if there was like half the dialogue that there was in that scene and just show us, you know. In this dungeon, none of the dialogue needed to be there. We could have just had the statues do the thing, and we could have figured it out ourselves. We didn't need the characters saying the same things over and over again. They're helping us. They're sad. They're happy. They helped us. They want to help us? They want to save the world? They want to help us by saving the world? We helped them and now they're helping us? That's a Fal'Cie? They're attacking the Fal'Cie? The Fal'Cie, they cut the Fal'Cie's tail and now it's weaker? It's weaker because it doesn't have its tail? It's a Fal'Cie? You know, like we don't need any of that. It just slows stuff down. I really don't think this game needs to be any slower. I'm not like, wow, the game's going too fast, we need to slow it down. Like, no, quite the opposite. I would love for the game to speed up. Let's hit the brakes there, bud. We're going too fast. I think that now the overall plot is better. At the beginning, I agree. It felt like there was this huge disconnect between what is happening and why any of it matters. But now I feel like we're finally in this position where it's like, okay, the world is in trouble, the Fal'Cie are evil, we need to defeat them, and we need to get rid of our brands. Like, we have several things going on that it's like, okay, I can understand this. Wow, that's terrifying. How do we fight it? But yeah, at the beginning, I agree. It was like, I don't understand how any of these events are... I mean, especially the part where they split up and it was just like, man, we've been just getting from point A to point B for like 10 hours. It is said in life he once loved music. I can but hope the notes surrounding by the elevator and Taijin's tower descending from the apex might lure him out and allow me to restore a touch of harmony to the discord of the tower's tainted song. Wait, is this like... Wait. Is this a puzzle? Do we have a puzzle? A puzzle hunt for the first time? Or... I mean, he looks like he's sleeping, so I have a feeling. What do I have to do? Just ride this multiple times or something? And then he wakes up? Here's the puzzle. Defeat the monster. It said that the sound of the elevator would wake him up. Or lure him out. It said lure him out, but he's right there, so I don't know. That little number thing on the elevator is confusing. It goes up to 999 and then goes back to 900. I don't get it. You need Final Fantasy 15. You're gonna be waiting a while. Yo, swag! Thank you for the 8 months, man. Appreciate you. Good to have you here. I gotta play 300 hours of Final Fantasy XIV first. Oops. Ding dong. Come out. Hello? I can but hope the notes sounded by the elevator in Taijin's tower descending from the apex might lure him out. Descending from the apex. So I gotta go all the way from the apex to the bottom, but that's impossible. I think. This only goes to 6. And watch the number thing. It goes up to 999 and then it goes down to 900. 10, 20, 30. Doesn't make any sense. It bothers me, the game's bad. Yeah, but the first number doesn't change. And we know that the 9 is actually a 9 because the other numbers, when they get the 9, they go back down to the first number. So even if the numbers aren't what they say they are, it still doesn't make sense. I don't think. I have to watch it in slow motion. In-depth look at the Final Fantasy XIII elevator. How's it going, Pojo? In-depth look at Pepino. Listen, I'm putting the in-depth in your guys' hands. It's totally up to you, so you vote for a meme character, it's gonna happen. Unless there's not enough there to make a video. Am I going to play No Man's Sky by Bethesda? Why did you word it like that? Are you a Bethesda shill now? Are you going to play the new hit Bethesda classic?
Don't give up.
Raid Shadow Legends? Oh, you're talking about Starfield. Probably not. At least not right now. Good. Tell me if it's any good. I mean, I know I'm gonna sound like Boomer from Boomerville, but I'm straight up done playing service games on day one. Like, literally just, I don't ever want to play another service game day one ever again. I have been burned by pretty much every single service game I've ever played day one. Whereas if I wait until the game's actually finished, and then I get into it, I usually end up having way more fun. What's a service game? Any game made after 2022. A game that is meant to be a service and not just a game. It's not finished. You buy it unfinished and then they finish it as you play it, either through updates or battle passes or DLCs or expansions, etc., etc. Or a MOBA or a MMORPG or literally anything where you're not just buying the game and playing it and you're done. That is a service game. But, you know, now we're in the post-apocalyptic phase where we're getting service games that are also full expensive, you know, $70 purchases like Diablo 4. Diablo 4 is a $70 game where you spend it to then have a service game and have to buy battle passes and DLC to get the rest of the game. Granted, Diablo 4 on release actually was close to a $70 game. It was pretty good, but now they ruined it, so it sucks. So I don't know. Maybe that's an elevator. What is this? This is an elevator, but it's, oh wait. This must be it. This must turn everything so you can go all the way down to the bottom. Yeah. Yeah, service games are games you have to buy the rights to play it. And then one day it's going to be dead. That's a service game. What? This can't go all the way down? The game industry, we can't make games that our full games anymore. We have to make service games because we need enough money to support our developers and stuff. And it's just impossible to make games that good. We gotta make them half-baked at $70 and then finish them later. That's just the way the industry is now. Also the game industry. Baldur's Gate is totally a crazy game that no one could ever make, and we couldn't ever strive to make games like that. Don't make that the new standard of games. That's a once-in-a-lifetime game. No one can make games like that ever again. Also the game industry. We've made more money this year than any year in our entire creation. We're the best game company ever. We made $7 skabillion.
This'll be quick.
Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny that the game industry is willing to basically say we suck at making games if it means they don't have to spend money.
This'll be quick. This'll be quick.
It's almost like if you pay your developers and your programmers instead of your
Take this.
managers and COOs, they'll make a good game.
You're gonna swerve.
Yeah, but that would cost money, and then we can't say that we're the most cost-effective company on the planet. We made $7 skabillion. We can't brag on Twitter about how much money we make if we pay our developers. Bro, say what you want about Fortnite, but they literally just made a game and paid their developers to make a game, and then the game exploded. Like, they were not out here saying Fortnite's gonna be the next $7 quadrillion business. Like, they just made a game, and then everyone liked it. What they did after that, you know... Oh, wait, didn't I? No, I had the... Yeah, no, this is good. Auto Tetra defense. That's pretty good. After that, they milked it to death, but of course they did. Why wouldn't they? But in terms of... You know... They weren't out here saying... We spent $10 trillion making this game, please buy it or we'll go broke. Like, they just made a good game. Alright, here we go. This was cool. This was a cool hunt. It makes a little tune. How dare you play the song of our people. Wait, it's not the big thing in the middle? I thought it was the big thing in the middle that was gonna fight us. How many hunts are this looking guy? Holy cow, he's immune to everything.
Let him have it! I'll deal with you.
This is a problem. Okay, we might not be,
How can it end like this?
This might be above our pay grade a little bit. This boy hurts. I'm guessing Bolt is thunder-based. So I can try some thunder resistance. But I don't know how much that's gonna help. I do have 3 lightning rings. I lasted longer than you did, alright. I think game companies should make games however they want. If they want to make a game that makes $1 trillion, then go for it. It's up to us to buy it or not. And same with making just a game that's good and hoping that that carries them. The problem is when they make games that are specifically designed to take our money and then brag about how much money they make, but then when someone else makes a game that's good, they complain that that's impossible. If they want to make a game that's like steal kids' money, the game, that's, you know, their right to do so. It's just up to us to not buy it. How
can it end like this?
It's up to my mom to buy it. But, yeah. When a multi-billion-dollar company is going on Twitter complaining about other companies making money, that's sad. And complaining that that shouldn't be the new normal. That's insane. Like, I've talked about this before, about how the gaming industry is unlike every other industry on the planet. And it continues to be that way. And I kind of wonder how long it's going to be like this, where the gaming industry just gets away with the strangest things that no other industry gets away with. In no other industry could a company make a product and then every other company in the space could complain about that product being too good and saying, like, it's not fair that they made a good product because now we look bad and you guys shouldn't hold us up to that standard. Like, that's not how any other industry works. If you make refrigerators for a living and then another company makes a better fridge, you just have to make a better fridge. You just have to make a fridge that competes with that fridge. That's just how it works, or people are going to buy the better fridge. No one's going to be like, oh, well, I feel bad for your fridge company because now these fridges are better. You know, I'll buy your fridge just to make you feel better. Like, no, that's not how any industry works. You just have to be better. You have to put in the money and the investment to make your fridge better than the fridge that's out there so that people buy your fridge. That's how the economy works. Like, it's complete nonsense to think that people should bend over backwards for you. Like, it's insane. And like that, and that's good for the fridge industry that they're making better fridges, because now you have to make better fridges and now the customer gets better fridges. But somehow in the gaming industry, it's like, oh no, we can't have that. We can't have better games. We want to continue to go to our islands with our trillions of dollars. We don't want to put the money in to make a better game.
Now that looks like an easier way to get where we're going.
Just
Let's
get in
take
the
it.
elevator.
Wouldn't want you to throw your back out climbing, old man.
Just get in the
You really
elevator.
are a charmer, aren't you?
I don't need a description as to what the elevator does. Just go. So, I'm so annoyed by this dungeon. This looks like a good thing to get where we're just get in. God. So many pointless cutscenes. That's not how elevators work. Yeah, I loved the design of that dungeon. I just hated every cutscene in it. Take all the cutscenes out, and that was an awesome dungeon. Okay, maybe not awesome, but it was the best dungeon so far. Look at that. The song still gives me, like, Xanarkin vibes. Hallway time. It's not a hallway. Oh no. I'll see, well that's where they get you. See, people could be like, I'll just keep the COD from this year and not buy the next year's COD. But the problem is, last year's COD was the worst COD ever made. So everyone had to buy Modern Warfare 2. Because Vanguard was the worst Call of Duty ever. But maybe people could hold on to 2 and not buy 3. But they won't do that. But they could, but they won't do that. Also, I don't know if you know anything about Call of Duty, but Activision completely leaves their old games in the dust when they make a new game. Like, just completely... Oh, the game is full of hackers now? Buy the new one. Oh, the menus don't work anymore? Buy the new one. What are you complaining about? There's a new one. They like completely remove the battle passes, remove any of the like stuff that makes the game fun, like the progression systems. It all just moves to the next game. So they just leave their old games in the dust. There was a problem with Black Ops 4, or no, Black Ops 3, the Steam version of Black Ops 3. Where you could start an online lobby and people could join your online lobby and kick you from your own lobby and then use the lobby to get a backdoor into your system and do bad stuff. And it took them until a community member created a patch to fix it. And everyone started downloading the unofficial patch for Activision to finally step in and fix it. But they didn't even really fix it. And, you know, we're not talking about,
Finally,
even though Activision
how many centuries?
drops their games off of the face of the planet after they're done with them, we're not talking about a game that only a few hundred people play. Black Ops 3 is still very popular. There's still hilariously high player counts on the old Black Ops games. To the point where, I think when Vanguard came out, more people were playing Black Ops 3 than Vanguard at one point on Steam. Like, people still play these games, but Activision just completely leaves them in the dust and just focuses on the new games. Which, you know, I mean, I don't expect them to care too much about a game that's like 8 years old, but, you know, Modern Warfare 2 is only a year old, and they are going to completely drop it off the face of the planet when 3 comes out. In fact, I heard that your purchases in 2 move over to 3. Which I don't think they've done that before. But yeah. So like, 2's gonna be, they're just gonna completely leave it. Move everything to 3. How's it going, bro? I wouldn't say COD died, but it's not the big player anymore. If I could go back in time and like change one thing to see what would happen, I genuinely really want to know what kind of future we'd be living in if Halo Infinite was actually good. Because I've never seen a bigger drop the ball moment in my entire gaming career. Being a part of the gaming industry for 15 years, I've never seen a bigger drop the ball moment than what happened with Halo Infinite. Call of Duty was the FPS game for a very long time, and it wasn't even close. And then Halo and Battlefield came in and took part of the market, but Call of Duty was still number one. And then Call of Duty Vanguard came out, and it was one of the worst games ever. And at the same time, I forget which Battlefield it was. I forget the name. The Battlefield names always confuse me, but whatever Battlefield came out that year had that big issue where like no one could play it. It was also pretty bad, but like no one could even play it. And then Halo Infinite came out and everyone loved it. It was the game, like everyone dropped Call of Duty and Battlefield to play Halo. It was wild. It was their one chance to finally bring Halo into like become the ultimate FPS and like change everything. And then they just made Halo Infinite awful.
Thanks.
They stopped making content. There was like 3 modes, 3 maps. They just like all went to sleep. They had the perfect opportunity and they just... Okay, the battle pass is going to be a bunch of helmets, green helmets. If you play the game for 100 hours, you can get a gray helmet. And they didn't add anything, and it was just completely left to die. Yeah, and what's so sad is I heard now it's better. Like, I mean, I knew when they added it took them like forever to add just like regular deathmatch. Regular deathmatch, and then the workshop mode that everyone likes from the old Halos. They eventually added that stuff, but it was way after anyone cared. But if they would have actually put in the effort to make it good at that time, Halo would have taken over. We could be playing Halo Infinite 2 right now, and Call of Duty could be actually dead. Like, actually dead. Activision could have straight up given up on Call of Duty. That's how good Infinite could have been. They could have totally taken the market. Just curious how that would have gone. I mean, there's probably a chance that even if Halo Infinite actually took the world by storm, Modern Warfare 2 would have brought everyone back, because Modern Warfare 2 had quite a bit of hype behind it. But yeah, I wonder what kind of dystopian future we could be in if Infinite actually would have just completely taken over. And 343 weren't the laughing stock of the game development world.
This'll be quick. This'll be quick.
I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with GTA 5 continuing to make money off the same game. My only issue with GTA 5 is they consistently push the microtransactions, and they're complete scams. Like, all of the microtransactions for GTA 5 are complete scams. And they still push them as if, like, they're a good idea to buy. And they do, like, combinations where you can get the game in one of the microtransactions. And Sony constantly puts the $100 microtransaction on their sales, like, please buy this.
Thanks.
And it's a complete waste of money. Just utter scam. I mean, I make fun of stuff like gray helmets in Halo Infinite, but at least that's a gray helmet that you have that no one else has. Like, yeah, it's a waste of money, but, like, at least you're getting a product that no one else has. You could say that much. GTA 5, you pay $100 for some money that you can get for playing the game for, like, a couple hours. Like, I don't know if it's still that way nowadays, but when I played GTA 5, you can make millions in hours. Like, there were ways of making, like, stupid amounts of money fast. I mean, the thought of spending money for money in GTA 5 was like a complete joke when I played it. Because everything you did, you made money, and there were plenty of ways to make money in the game and make a lot of money. But I feel like they sell these to people that don't own the game yet, thinking, oh, they'll buy the game and the microtransaction before they get in and realize how much of a joke it is.
What do you mean, which is ours? All of them. They're all ours.
Yep, everyone in the village lived together.
One big happy family?
One heck of a lot of places to hang your hat.
Yeah, just play a modded server, then you'll get your instant gratification. I mean, I'm okay with, like, shortcut microtransactions. I've always personally thought they're all, like, the stupidest thing ever. Why would I want to... Why in the world would I want to spend... Why in the world would I want to spend $70 on a game and then spend more money to take away some of the content of the $70 game I just bought? That's, like, ludicrous to me. Why would I want to... I spent $70 for a game so that it'll give me 80 hours of content. Why would I want to lower that to 40 hours? I'm literally stealing my own money. But whatever, I understand some people like the rush of getting into a game and already having everything or whatever. Fine. But the prices for shortcutting transactions are like hilarious. You spend $50 on Grand Theft Auto 5, and then you spend $100 to get money in Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, what dystopian future are we in where the game, the graphics, the music, the sound, the atmosphere, the character designs, the voice acting, the world, the mechanics, the cars, the buildings, all of that is worth $50, but then the made up currency in the game is worth $100. Like, wait, how does that? And there's so many games that do that. I think Grand Theft Auto 5 is free now, so you can make that argument, but not, back that microtransaction's always been there, even when the game was $60. But no, there's plenty of games I've seen that do this, where like the game itself is this much money, and then something in the game is almost the same amount or more. And it's like, when you take a step back and look at it, it's like, how does that make any sense? That all of that is worth this amount, and then this one little thing is worth this amount. Like, it's in context, it might make sense, But when you take a step back and look at, like, if I tried to explain it to my mom, she'd be like, what? Like, if I tried to explain to my mom that, Counter-Strike or CSGO is free, but then changing the color of your knife could be up to $500. She'd be like, "What? How does that? That doesn't what?" It would blow her mind, But to us, it like makes sense because there's more context to it. There's like the rarity of it and the marketplace and what that knife means to the community and et cetera, et cetera. But like when you take a step back and look at it, it's like, how does that make any sense that these are the price differences, And like with Grand Theft Auto, how does it make sense that all of the development time to make the game is worth $50, but then the made up currency is $100? But with context, it makes more sense. But it's just funny sometimes to take a step back and look at it and be like, that just doesn't make any sense when you really think about it. Yeah. That doesn't really, like I said, in no other industry, in any other industry, you would really just look at the value of the product, minus maybe like, I think the only comparison you could maybe make is like designer clothes, where like you have a shirt that's worth $20 and you have a designer shirt worth $500. And at its core, they're both just shirts, and maybe the designer shirt is made of slightly better material, but it's more of the clout behind it that makes it $500. And that's kind of similar with gaming microtransactions, where like there's more context to it than just what it's actually worth. But when you take a step back and just look at stuff, that's why we make fun of brand stuff. That's why we make fun of designer stuff sometimes, because it's like, why would you spend that much money on a purse when it's the same as this purse? And that's kind of the same with microtransactions. Why would you spend $100 on this thing when the entire game is worth half that, But there is more context to it, but it is funny to step back sometimes and be like, this makes no sense.
Look around.
We'd better. Gotta find something to help us lose these brands.
That's not the only reason we're here. You're finally home. Make the most of it.
No, that's the only reason we're here. But thanks for reminding us for the 5th time.
Everything's different, but it's still home.
So we just gotta throw away the part where Fang was like, yeah, there's no way we can get rid of these brands. Like, she said it for 2 seconds, and now she's just kind of like, all right, never mind. Hey, it's this thing again. It's like a fast pass at an amusement park. I don't know, man. I think those are two different things. Because with the fast pass, you're getting more out of your purchase because you can ride more rides before you have to leave. Whereas fast passes in games, you're getting less out of your purchase because you're going to spend less time playing. Like I remember we got Fast Pass one. I went to Cedar Point with my mom, and she bought the Fast Pass because she wanted to get more out of her investment. She spent $70 to get in the park. She wanted to ride more rides, you know. Whereas in a game, you're actually giving yourself less time. You're going to be done with the game faster because you shortcutted, so you're getting less out of your purchase. Most of the time. There's obviously
This will be quick. We can win this.
outliers to that, but like when you buy a skill, well, we're talking specifically shortcutting stuff. So yeah. I'd rather not know how far we are in, bro, because it kind of spoils things. You could DM someone that knows, though.
This will be quick.
They could tell you. What chapter are we on? Your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea. We're in Orerba. Just Google that. Why is this one so much tougher than the hunt one I thought?
This will be quick. This will be quick. This will be quick. Jensen's spine.
What are we thinking about the story? It's pretty good, but very convoluted and slow. And right now, there's literally nothing going on. We're just going to the next place. I like it when it's good, but it tends to not be good for very long periods of time. And it's convoluted and a lot of things don't make sense. Great. Why are you attacking? Oh, that's why. Can you guys, like, dispel me or something? So I can cast magic again? Oh, I can still do these. That's cool.